Assalamu alaikum. This lecture is for University of Education Lahore, Department of English. Course title is Pakistan Studies. Program name is BS English. Course code PAKS. Tetra 1. Instructor name is Dr. Ibrar Ahmed, who is main teacher of this course, and this is Anil Waqas Khan. In this lecture, we will discuss about the Musharraf era from 1998 to 2008. Scheme of the lecture. First of all, we will discuss about the biography of the Pervez Musharraf, his army career, martial law and dissolution of parliament, September 11 and Musharraf. In this point, we will discuss about the attacks on World Trade Center and the strategies of the America after this attack, and the strategies of the General Musharraf, international relations, achievements of Musharraf, economy, GDP, health sector and women empowerment. He worked in this field blatantly for the health sector, betterment of the health sector, and he also worked for the women empowerment, education. So it was the glorious time, one of the glorious times of history of Pakistan, because he worked in the field of the education, electric supply and gas supply, electrifying maximum villages of Pakistan, microcredit loans. He introduced microcredit loans for the people, stock market. Conclusion. Biography. Pervez Musharraf, born August 11, 1943, New Delhi, India. Pakistani military officer who took power in coup in 1999. So it is the first point about his birth date, and after that about his military coup which was conducted in 1999. He served as President of Pakistan from 2001 to 2008. So it was about the political career of the Pervez Musharraf, that he served as the President of Pakistan from 2001 to 2008. Musharraf moved with his family from New Delhi to Karachi in 1947. So he was belonged to a migrated family who was migrated from India to Pakistan in 1947. So basically they were belonged to New Delhi, and after that his family was settled in Karachi. When Pakistan was separated from India, the son of a career diplomat, he lived in Turkey during 1949 to 56. Joined army. He joined the army in 1964. Graduated from the Army Command and Staff College in Quetta. So it was the beginning of his service, that he joined in 1964, and he was graduated from the Army Command and Staff College in Quetta. Attended the Royal College of Defence Studies in London. So during his training and during his career in army, he attended the Royal College of Defence Studies in London. He held a number of appointments in the artillery, in the infantry and commando units. So he was a commando, and his appointments were in artillery and the infantry, and he also served in the commando unit, taught at the Staff College in Quetta and in the war wing of the National Defence College. So it was also the part of his army career that he taught at the Staff College in Quetta and in the war wing of the National Defence College. So he was a Obviously we know about his personality that he is a good speaker, and he was also a good teacher as well. He was an educated dictator of Pakistan, and he was the fourth dictator of the Pakistan after Ayub Khan, Ziaul Haq, and General Yahya Khan. Army career: he fought in Pakistan's 1965 and 1971 wars with India. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif appointed him head of the armed forces in October 1998. So he participated in the wars of Pakistan, which were fought against India in 1965 and 71. So after that he was appointed as the head of the armed forces in October 1998 by the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif. So after that, Musharraf is believed to have played a key role in the invasion of the Indian administered portion of the disputed Kashmir region in the summer of 1999. So he was a planner. He also participated in this war, but as a general and as the head of the armed forces. So he played a key role during this invasion. Under international pressure, Sharif later ordered the troops to pull back to Pakistani controlled territory, a move that angered the military. So this such type of the concept is prevailing in the society, that we have no idea about the truth of this thing, because we have different opinion about this concept that Sharif later ordered the troops to pull back to Pakistani controlled territory, and military was angered about this step and instructions by the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Musharraf dismissed on October 12, 1999, while Musharraf was out of the country. Sharif dismissed him and tried to prevent the plane carrying Musharraf home from landing at the Karachi airport. So when he was out of the state and he was not in the state, so during his absence he was dismissed by the Prime Minister, and he was, when he was coming to the state and he was coming back to his home, and his plane was about to land at the airport of Karachi. So he was halted to do so by the instructions of the Prime Minister. So such type of the thing is also prevailing in the society, that he was forced to land at any other state. So as Musharraf describes in his speeches, that he was forcefully told to go away from the territory of the Pakistan. Military government, the armed forces, however, took control of the airport and other government installations and deposed Sharif, paving the way for the Musharraf to become head of a military government. So it was the imposition of the martial law in the state, and when the plane of the General Musharraf landed, he was the head of the state and head of the government, and there was a imposed martial law in the state. Dissolution of the parliament. Although he was generally considered to hold moderate views and promised an eventual return to civilian rule. So he was not actually the supporter of the civilian rule, and but he promised that he will eventually he will return to the civilian rule. Musharraf suspended the constitution and dissolved the parliament, as it is the basic thing of the martial law and the basic feature of the martial law and dictatorship, that they always suspend the constitution of the state, and they always dissolve the parliament, because they do not accept the superiority of the parliament, and they do not accept the rule of the civilians, and so that's why Musharraf suspended the constitution and dissolved parliament. He formed the National Security Council. He formed the National Security Council, made up of civilian and military appointees to run Pakistan in the interim. So such type of the council was formulated to for the administration of the government and administration of the affairs of the state. So such type of steps were taken by the General Sheriff. 9/11 attacks following the September 11 attacks in 2001 in the United States and the subsequent US invasion of Afghanistan later that year, the US government cultivated close ties with Musharraf in an attempt to root out Islamic extremists in the Afghan-Pakistan border region. So after the 9/11 attacks in US, so it was a new beginning and a new formation of the policy towards America, that US became the ally of the Musharraf government for such type of the to eradicate extremists from the society and from the region of the Afghan-Pakistan border. So it was the time period when he was supported by the US, and he was obviously supported by financially and different other military aids. Support for the war on terror. Musharraf allied with the United States against the Afghan Mujahideen in Afghanistan after the September 11 attacks. So due to the support of the United States, Musharraf became the ally of the United States, and then they started a war against Mujahideen who was settled in Afghanistan and operating their system from Afghanistan. And later on we faced a lot of things and faced the consequences of this war during the last 2 decades. A few months after the 11 September attacks, Musharraf gave a speech against extremism. So he was against extremism in the society. So he gave a speech which was against extremism. He instituted prohibitions on foreign students' access to studying Islam within Pakistan, an effort that began as an outright ban but was later reduced restrictions on obtaining visas. So such type of the bans and restrictions were formulated, and for the obtaining of the visas for the students, and such type of prohibitions were awarded to the Pakistan. On 18 September 2005, Musharraf made a speech before a broad-based audience of Jewish leadership sponsored by the American Jewish Congress Council for World Jewry in New York City. So it was the speech of 18 September 2005 of Musharraf before the broad-based audience of Jewish leadership. He was widely criticized by Middle Eastern leaders but was met with some praise among Jewish leadership. So he was appreciated by the Jewish leadership due to his thoughts and the speech. International relations with India. After the 2001 Gujarat earthquake, Musharraf expressed his sympathies to Indian Prime Minister Atul Bihari Vajpayee and sent a plane load of relief supplies to the India. So he tried to formulate good relationships with the neighbor country India, and for this reason he sent some relief supplies to the India, and he tried to strengthen the good relationship with India. In 2004, Musharraf began a series of talks with India to resolve the Kashmir dispute. It was the initiative taken by the Musharraf to resolve the Kashmir issue. Relations with Saudi Arabia. In 2006, King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia visited Pakistan for the first time as king. So it was also during the time period era of the Musharraf that the Saudi king visited Pakistan in 2006. Musharraf honored King Abdullah with the Nishan-e-Pakistan. Musharraf received the King Abdulaziz Medallion in 2007. So He tried to strengthen the good relationship with the neighbor country India and also with Saudi Arabia. Nuclear scandals from September 2001 2001 until his resignation in 2007 from the military. Musharraf's presidency was affected by scandals relating to nuclear weapons, which were detrimental to his authoritative legitimacy in the country and in the international community. So such type of scandals were also attached with the personality of General Musharraf. Sting operation in October 2001, Musharraf authorized a sting operation led by FIA to arrest two physicists, Sultan Badruddin Mahmud and Chaudhry Abdul Majid, because of their supposed connection with the Taliban after they secretly visited Taliban-controlled Afghanistan in 2000. So he instigated such type of the operations against the Taliban, and it was also the part of his era that he started such type of operations against Taliban and against the extremism in the society. Achievements of Musharraf government. The situation on 12th October 1999 when Mr. Musharraf took over was that Pakistan faced economic bankruptcy. So it was the time period when he held the control of the government. There was an economic bankruptcy of the state, so there was a worst form of the economic situation in the state. International isolation, the state was isolated, so we can say that there was not good relationship with other states, and there was not a foreign policy for the state. The country was referred to as a failed state. So during the time period of 1999, the country was referred to as a failed state. Political instability and checkered political history of previous governments. Opposition never allowed an elected government to complete term and derailed the process institution. So such type of inquiries were instigated, and different committees were formulated to check the political history of the previous governments. Economic achievements. When we talk about the achievements of the General Musharraf and about his policies, so during his year in power, Pakistan pursued consistent and favorable policies for liberalization, deregulation and privatization. So such type of things were initiated just to get good economic results in the state. So he pursued consistent favorable policies for liberalization, and he introduced liberalization in the state, and after that deregulation and privatization. So he privatized different sectors just for the betterment and to get good results in economic fields. The economy had expanded at an average rate of 7% per annum during the last 4 years. Its growth touched a record level of 9% in 2001 to 2004 to 2005. So good results were gained by the General Musharraf's government, that there was a rate of the 7%. There was also a record level of the 9%. So it was a good economic growth during the era of the General Musharraf. Growth of large-scale manufacturing, which was 3.6% during 1900 to 2000, registered an average increase of 11.31% per annum during the period from 2000 to 2007. Growth of this sector was highest in 2004 to 5, 19.9%. So it was a growth rate, and it was the growth of large scale manufacturing. So we can say that it was one of the good time periods for the Pakistan. Revenue collections. Total revenue collections increased from rupees 308 billion in 1999 to rupees 46 billion during 2007. So revenue was also raised to this incredible figure. GDP growth, which was 3.9% in 1999, grew at an average rate of 6% per annum during the period from 2000 to 2007. So there was also a growth of 3.9% in the GDP of the Pakistan. So it was also a good thing for the economic situation of the Pakistan. Total GDP, which ranged between rupees 769.7 billion 1988 to 89 and rupees 2938.4 billion 1998 to 99, registered an enormous growth during the last 8 years and ranged between rupees 3826 billion 9900 to 2000 and rupees 9970 billion 2006 to 2007. So these were some facts and figures about the revenue collection during the time period and era of the General Musharraf, and also about the GDP growth during this time period. Agriculture. Musharraf also worked in the field of the agriculture for the betterment of the farmers and for the betterment of this sector. In 1998 to 99, our country was importing key staples to meet domestic requirements. So we were importing so many products to meet our domestic requirements. In contrast, in FY07, financial year 07-2007, country witnessed significant rise in the productivity in almost all major crops. So there was a raise and there a growth in the different production of the different major crops. Agriculture credit market was quite shallow and gross disbursement were only rupees 42.9 billion in 1998 to 99. Gross disbursement of agri credit rose to rupees 168 billion in 2006 to 2007. So such type of growth was also witnessed during in the agriculture field and agriculture sector of the Pakistan during the era of Musharraf. Health sector. Musharraf also worked in the health sector during 1998 to 1999. Total health expenditures was rupees 225 billion, which had increased to rupees 50 billion. So he doubled this amount for the betterment of the health sector, and he worked for the people. And as we know that they formulated different cardiology centers, they formulated different other hospitals, and they worked on the hospitals, they worked on the institutions, like they produced 1122 during this time period, and they made different cardiology centers in different cities, which was a good effort by the government. And they also worked in the health sector. There had been an increase of about 20,000 registered doctors, around 3,000 registered dentists, about 15,000 nurses, and 56,000 lady health workers. The quantity, quality, and distribution of this workplace were being improved. So they increased employment, and they created jobs for these doctors, for nurses, for paramedical staff. So they worked in this field by all means. During 2000 to 2008, health indicators had shown gradual improvement. So such type of the improvements were witnessed by the in this field. Education spread. General Musharraf was a big supporter of the education, and he was in the favor of this thing to introduce education in all classes, and he considered this thing that he considered the importance of the education for the prosperity of the nation and for the progress of the society. 81 new universities including degree awarding institutions DAI and 14,117 schools colleges were opened. So it was a big number during this the 10 years era of General Musharraf, that he formulated these institutions for the education, and the new universities and colleges were opened. Stipends to the needy students. So he introduced stipends to the needy students. After the students were provided books free of cost. So this number of the students, a big number of the students, were awarded with the free books for their study. After that, missing facilities were provided in educational institutions. So he ensured all type of the things, and he supported this field by all means and in all directions. Overall literacy rate increased from 45% to 55 during 2000 to 2001 to 2006 to 7. So it was a good big improvement in the literacy rate and in the society. Male literacy rate increased from 58% to 67. So it was also a big improvement in the field. Female literacy rate increased from 32% to 48% during the government of the General Musharraf. Gross enrollment at primary level of 5.9 years increased from 72% to 91%, an increase of 19 percentage points. So it was also an improvement in the gross enrollment of the students in the educational institutions. So all the efforts which he made in the field of the education are not negligible. Women empowerment. National policy for development and empowerment of women was announced on 7th March 2002. So he worked in this field, that he was in the favor of the women empowerment, and he worked for the empowerment of the women, while he was also criticized by the religious scholars and religious clerics in the society. The theologians were against the women empowerment, so they criticized him because of his liberal thoughts about the women empowerment. So because he was blatantly adopting such type of the concept and adopting such type of the things. This policy contained a vision, defined goals, aims and objectives formulated through a laborious and detailed consultative process. Reservation of 20% women seats in the National Assembly. So he reserved 20% seats in the National Assembly for women. A reservation of 18% seats for women in the Senate. So it was also an improved number for the women in the Senate. Reservation of 33% seats for the women at all tiers of local government remains a hallmark of the new system centered on the devolution of power. So the number of the seats, allocated seats, were also improved for the women in the state because of his policies about the women empowerment. Poverty alleviation. He also worked for the poverty alleviation in the state. Government's efforts have resulted in the reduction of poverty from 34.4% in 2001 to 23.9% in 2005. So he worked to alleviate poverty in the state. In this way, 1 crore 27 lakh 12.7 million people came out of the poverty. So it was a big number for the alleviation of the poverty in the state. During last 5 years, rupees 1441 billion have been spent on poverty reduction and employment generation. Employment opportunities during 1999 to 2007, as many as 11 lakh 86 1,10,086 teachers, 65,231 lady health visitors, and 78,024 personnel in public police department were appointed. So he produced appointments, and he produced jobs for in these fields, and he also produced jobs opportunities in telecom sector and local government departments. He also created jobs in different fields of the Punjab, and he created opportunities in different industries. Due to new industries, he created about 6.6 million jobs opportunity for the people, and various departments of the provinces. He also produced different jobs. Infrastructure development, mega projects, 6 projects consisting between rupees 1 to 5 billion have since been completed. Work on 6 projects including raising of Bangla Dam and Lyari Expressway, and first unit of 4 megawatt of Satpara Dam was nearing completion. Work on the remaining 89 projects was in progress and was scheduled to be completed during April 2008 to December 2016. As many as 34,251 development schemes were launched during the prior period from 1999 to 2007. So such type of the development were taken in the field of the infrastructure. Electricity and gas supply, village electrification. Villages electrified during 1947 to 1999, 67,180. Villages electrified during 1999 to 2007, 5,450. Rate of village electrified per year in 1999, 1400. In 2007, 14,000. In new connections installed, 1.36 million. Number of beneficiaries new, 9.53 million. Total amount spent rupees 26.60 billion. Gas supply, towns, villages, localities. Supplied gas during 1999 to 2007, 11,494. Amount spent on gas supplied schemes during 1999 to 2007, rupees 78.81 billion. New connection provided during the period, 17.94 million. Clean drinking water program was also initiated during the Musharraf era. Microcredits and loans. He also worked for the microcredit and loans for the small industries, and so he introduced this thing, microcredits, to the tune of rupees 11.457 billion were extended to lower strata of the society. Agriculture loans of the order of rupees 596.44 billion were extended to farmers. When we talk about the stock market, growth of stock market ranged between 44.7% in 1997 to 98 and to 19.1% during the 1988 to 99, as against KSE index of 1257 points on 12th October 1999. It was 13,772 in 2006 to 2007, as against market capitalization of rupees 334 billion on 12th October 1999. It was rupees 3,980 billion at the close of financial year 2006 to 7. So it was a good improvement in the stock market of the Pakistan. Conclusion, from 1998 to 2008, Musharraf government faced severe opposition and international challenges. War on terror was one of the biggest challenges. but in the terms of the economy, health, education and power supply, Musharraf era was good and developing. So we cannot ignore the efforts which were taken by the General Musharraf during his time period. So we cannot say that always the dictatorship is the worst form of the government. Uh, but in the case of the Pakistan and during the time period of the General Musharraf, so there was some improvements in different fields of the education, health, and many other fields. So there was an improvement was witnessed by the people and the political environment of the whole world. These are the references which are utilized for this lecture. So thank you so much.